These people are dangerous. This is not a joke. These are my experiences with them. Most people watching this journal now probably don't know this, but back in the day I ran a pretty popular website dedicated to the Final Fantasy VII characters, Cloud and Zack. It was the only comprehensive one out there about the characters, which is why it got such notice. Occasionally I would receive fan mail or other people's fan art, which I'd put on the website. In my time running the site, I'd built relationships with quite a few people, but none like the woman by the pseudonym of Hojo, and her charismatic wife Genova, both named for key villains from the video game Final Fantasy VII. In turn, they named me Zack. Seemed like your typical role players, a bit on the strange side, but seemingly good people nonetheless. And then came a good old bombshell.
Do you believe in past lives? I do believe in past lives. I mean, many religions believe in them, but I just don't remember any of mine.
I should never have said that. It was like inviting the vampire into my house. Jen's attacks were swift and sure. She began in a flurry explaining things to me, how there were alternate universes and how in said universes, maybe, just maybe, video games actually happened. I thought it could be plausible. I like to believe anything is possible. Through the torrent of messages, she tells me that she thinks in a past life I was Zack from Final Fantasy VII. Before I could get a word in edgewise, she went off about how neither of us believed in magic, how we both hated being in basements, were always there for our friends, and how our speech patterns were apparently similar. Now, any reasonable person would have stopped her then and there to grace her with the shocking revelation that video games aren't real. However, addle your brain with freshman idiocy and vodka and this will suddenly make sense. Shortly thereafter, they had convinced me to stay with them at their house in State College, Pennsylvania, a week before Christmas.
Zack?
Hey, Hojo.
Hi.
It's nice to meet you in person. Sorry if I kept you waiting too long.
No. The time that I dedicated to idling was acceptable. How was the ride?
Pretty good.
Good. Do you want to go? My partner's night dwelling is adjacent to here.
Sure.
Let's be on our way.
So, how's living with Genova?
Depends on the day of course. Sometimes her children and other selves become quite unbearable. But aside from that, it's most applicable.
Wait, you guys actually have kids? I thought you were role-playing or something.
I request you dispense with your footwear on the companionway.
You mean outside? In the snow? Didn't you say this neighborhood wasn't trustworthy?
Genova demands it. Not doing so permits spirits into our dwelling that interferes with her magic.
Hey, you left me here all alone. We really missed you while you were gone. Hello there, Mr. Zack. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
Hi. About this time, I started to realize Genova wasn't role-playing when she talked about her children and other selves. Jen is what the internet calls a soul bonder, or in other words, batshit loony. She believes she has a lot of people living in her head talking, and when she wants to take on a personality that best fits the situation for her personal gain, she acts one out. For example, if she wants to get sympathy, she would raise the pitch of her voice and act like a child.
You're single, you'll have a long life, and you'll have money and time. Although anyone knows that palm reading isn't the best kind for that stuff, so I'll read your tarot cards. Shuffle the cards until the spirits tell you to stop.
Okay. Now what? Despite my odd first encounters, my overall experience was positive, and I would frequently visit them while on breaks, each time paying $300 or so for a bus ticket. With every visit, I would meet someone new. Many of them were soul bonders themselves.
This man has the soul of Sid. He is technically minded and kind. And this is Sephiroth. I swear, he's a lot more gentle than he was in Final Fantasy VII. And this is Kate. Their soul has transited into human form. And this is...
I'm Eris. I'm Genova's one and only apprentice. She's just...
Jen would often ask me for money to buy food, and I would feel a sense of obligation to help her out. She would also help her other guests to become more attached to whatever Final Fantasy character she had assigned to us. This was done through several ways, such as pantomime magical battles, lying on the floor listening to video game music, or by simulated re-experiences, which could have been anything from getting poisoned with aphrodisiacs to getting beat to a pulp in order to regain our soul memories.
Zach, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Please carry on. My spells...
Oh God, no, Jen! Oh, my powers are too strong. I don't feel a pulse. I think she's dead. I hear a spirit. Zach, I think only you can save her. Zach, save her.
Zach! 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 Zach!
Zach!
He learned magic!
Through it all, I have to say none of this was really that bad. Flaky, maybe annoying, but not that bad. So when Jen and Hojo asked me to move in the following spring, I was willing to take them up on the offer. When I told my parents, they were hesitant at first, but decided on giving me an ultimatum that if I could find a job within 3 days, I could stay. It wasn't an easy task considering I didn't have a phone or a car, but I managed to get one at the local market. Being a third of the income needed to support a house motivated me to quit drinking as well, that being the only good thing to come out of this.
Hear that? Only you guys can hear it.
Hey everyone!
Salutations, Zach.
How'd the interview go?
It went pretty good, being as I got the job. I did ask the manager if it would support a third of the household, but she kind of looked at me weird.
Glad to hear it. Go put your stuff away. Amazing. This is so amazing.
You guys are up early.
We're still up. The spirits were chatting.
Apologies if you heard our communication yesterday evening. It's a rare occurrence.
Aren't you guys worried you'll be tired for work?
You should get going.
Okay. Hey guys. Hey Eris.
Hey, Zach.
Can you move this away from the wall? It's blocking my flow of magic.
Can it wait 1 minute?
Zach, the fate of the world needs this.
Yeah, sure. Let's get your magic flowing.
Thank you.
Does this improve your magic, Master?
Zach, you forgot the steaks. You must go get them.
The store's closed right now. I'll go grab them tomorrow. Every day, I'd come home from work only to be greeted with a new task from Jen. Occasionally, between work and dealing with them, I would rarely have enough energy to make it back to the couch I slept on, and would pass out in the kitchen.
by the calamity of the skies and command you to awaken! My restoration spell never fails.
Why did you do that? How long have I been asleep?
Come, Zach. The fate of the world needs us. You must awake and serve your destiny. Zach! Can't you see it?
See what?
The magic, Zach. The magic. It's all around us.
Oh, hey, Eris. Have you seen Jen or Hojo?
They're probably still in bed. They were up pretty late doing their usual.
You mean arguing?
How did you know?
It keeps me up at night. That and Jen drag me into the middle of the forest while I'm soaked.
Yeah, I remember my first magical mission with her too. It was amazing. She saw so much potential in me. She made me her apprentice just right on the spot. It was incredible.
Crystal, do you actually believe in any of this?
Do you still not understand what's happening here? Do you not understand what goes on? Like, the world brought us together in spirit and in life and in soul and we're here to fight evil. We are here to serve Master Jen's wishes. We are here because the world gathered all of our lights, our spiritual energy together to become this one entity to slay evil. How do you not understand this yet?
Do you actually like any of them?
What do you have against Master Genova and Hojo?
I've been sick of them since week 1. As soon as I arrived, I've just been the workhorse. Maybe it's because I'm Zach, the manly man, as opposed to Jen, the center queen, or, Hojo, the frail scientist. The day that I moved in, they both quit their jobs, and I haven't gotten a new one since. Leaving me to take care of everything, from the food that Jen wants, most of which I'm allergic to the magical MacGuffins Jen wants even more, to preserve balance in the world. I can't even get online because Jen's online 24/7. When she's not, she's looking over my shoulder and making sure I don't post anything along the line of, Jen is holding me hostage. Oh God, please someone help me.
If you don't like it here so much, why don't you just leave?
I have no car, I have no phone, I have no money.
Zach, I can't believe you said all those mean things about Hojo and I. The real Zach wouldn't have said that. We must perform an extreme life regression to ensure that we keep the real Zach with us.
Jen? Jen? Jen! 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 It was that act, on top of a consistent cycle of starvation, sleep deprivation, surveillance, and social isolation, that broke me. It had eroded my will to the point where I would begin supporting them blindly. I had no confidence to ask for help. I was not the headstrong and moral hero Zach, but an avatar for my devious players.
Hey, Zach.
Assist thy master and bolster these publications on your body.
It is my pleasure.
Citations, Jenny.
Eris betrayed us. She keeps harassing me. She wants to leave
Genova.
me. I'm going to kill myself.
Jen, calm down. Jen, please, don't do this. Stay on the phone with me. Stay on the phone
I'm
with me.
bleeding out.
Jenny? Jenny, oh my god. Oh. Kate, get to our place right now. Jen is trying to kill herself. Jen? Jen, oh my god, Jen! Are you okay? What's wrong with her?
In that moment, I had woken up for a second and knew this was all bullshit. I had a problem with self-injury, so I knew the sight of a deep cut from a light cut. I know well knife wounds. Jen had scratched herself, maybe with a safety pin or a butter knife. It was not a suicide attempt. At most, it would sting.
Betrayed me.
Oh.
I'm dying because.
But I was still mad at Eris because I was supposed to be. She had caused this. I sent her nasty emails. I joined them in bashing her. I even ignored her when she attempted to get her stuff back. She obviously still wanted to be friends with me. I regret that now because we never reconciled. Maybe if I had got a clue and tried to get out with her, things would have turned out different. The next morning, someone had stolen my shoes. You may think it's a silly reason to snap, but that's what did it. That in this god-awful town with these god-awful people who were bleeding me dry saw fit that my money wasn't enough. They had to take my shoes, too.